Well, welcome to Her Story, where we celebrate women making history and breaking barriers. Today, we are excited to speak with Alexandra Sanders. She is the Senior Manager of Commercial Sales and Effectiveness at TD Bank. With over 16 years of experience in banking, she has a track record in leading sales strategy, execution, and working closely with business leaders, marketing products, and sales team. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
I'm so happy to be here.
There are so many things when it comes to women's history. For Her Story Month is what we're calling it. We're changing the name a little bit. Tell us what it means to be a part of Her Story Month to you.
Oh man, so I'm a bit of a sentimental type. So her story means so much to me. You know, I'd say from being raised by a single mother and her mother being incredibly powerful. I mean, she used to tell me stories that she took her out of school to bring her to like protests and things like in Washington, D.C. where she grew up. So, you know, I just think being a strong woman and just creating your own pathway is incredibly important to me. And, you know, I've always liked to live my life just to experience things, you know, to experience things good, bad, and ugly, because it's growth. And so when it comes back to me now sharing my story, it's a bit of a humbling moment, a bit of imposter syndrome when I think about it, because I've just been wanting to just live, you know, and say, I can do this. And like, why not learn how to ride a motorcycle? Who cares being the only girl in the room? You know, let me just go ahead and do that. So I'm excited to here to share a little bit about my kind of adventure that I call life. And that's really what it means to me.
I have to say, you spoke at an event that we were just at, the Empower Her event. And it was something about your presence, your resilience, and just even speaking on several questions too as well that made you stand out the most. Not to mention she has some amazing tattoos too as well, we have to say. But you know, it's you being your authentic self. How do you get there? Do you get this from your mom? What is your why?
Yeah, Julie Sanders, my beloved mother, is the reason why. I mean, she brought me on a life adventure. You know, my mother was absolutely unafraid to do things. I mean, she was a single mother, took me to South Korea when she taught at a college. She did ESL for a bunch of time, or for a bit of time, and also moved into banking, which I also followed in her footsteps. But she was unafraid. I don't think she would probably say that about herself, but she just did things. And, you know, and she was very open with me in a very appropriate way about her experiences. And so that gave me sort of a pass to say, like, well, why can't I do that? You know, okay, so guys are doing that, who cares? You know, she has a very kind of like, meh, screw it type attitude. And so I've certainly adopted that. Her bravery, her resilience, and also her ability to just be honest, you know, with herself. And I have to say, there's one story I always like to tell. You know, there was a woman that was struggling to pay a bill when she was getting her car fixed. And my mom, you know, certainly didn't have the money at the time, and she paid for her bill. And so when I saw those, like, you know, acts of kindness, it is something that's made a huge impact on my life. You know, that, yeah, we may not all be in the best situations ourselves, but if you do have the time, if you do have it in your heart to do something big, you know, and I think that a woman ended up writing an article about it in like the newspaper after. So yeah, Julie is my reason.
Well,
Mom.
We have to thank her because you lit the room up. You were the perfect host for that event. I have to talk about the accolades though, because you received some awards, an honorary doctorate too as well.
Yes.
Tell me, how do you go about this journey of extending, you know, because everyone says they reach a point to, you know, you don't have to do much more, but you are not stopping. I don't think you're gonna stop too, even after that.
Yeah, it could be a sickness. Some may say, like, it's okay to slow down. It's okay to just enjoy things in the moment. I mean, I like to challenge myself. You know, I keep going back to like, oh, well, there was a point in time where I didn't know how to ride a motorcycle, and I learned, and I used to go for rides with like a big group of people, and that was cool, you know, and that was just a moment in time. Don't have to attach to it for long. Let me just try something else. And so when it comes to geez, the doctorate, that sort of surprised me this year. And that was just an accumulation of how I've been involved in the communities over the years, what I've done for women in leadership, for women involved in the NFL, from a spouse perspective or a partner perspective. Some of the work that I've done, for the PPP program is another item for work where I won a project award. So basically that was just accumulation of things that I had done, and someone said, you know what, that's enough to constitute a doctorate, which is like still shocking. When people are like, Dr. Sanders, I'm like, that was my grandfather, not me. But
it is you now.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I feel very thankful for that.
You should. So my question, I love this picture of the ladies too, because it always, we do have fun too as well. How important is it to you to make sure you get that in with girl time and being a girl's girl?
Yeah, admittedly, I've been burned with some female friendships, and I think all women can probably say that. I've been burned, and there was a time where I was like, you know what, I'm just, I hang out with the guys. The guys are cool, they don't like to gossip. But as you get older, you realize you need women in your life. And I'm like now on a crusade where it's like, I need multi-generational relationships. I need like a good friend that's in her 50s to say, hey, I know what you're experiencing in your mid 30s. Here's kind of what you're going through, from your body to your mind to everything, relationships, kids, all that stuff. And just being able to tell you that it's okay. And here's like some hacks, but you got to live through some rough patches, and here's how I got through it. But
well, I have to ask you one last question, because we all think about it. You as a little girl.
Yes.
Would you ever believe that you would be sitting here on this set talking about all of the things that you've accomplished, the things that you've overcome, and where you're going tomorrow?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I think that could make me cry, because I think about it that I just wanted to make my family proud, but more importantly, I wanted to make myself proud. I didn't want to be a weak woman. I didn't want to be a woman that was written over by someone else's story. And so the fact that I'm in my mid-30s right now and can say, this is what I've done, like, I cannot wait. I would say I cannot wait to be like a sassy or, a 60 or 70-year-old. Like, watch out. And the clothes are going to be ridiculous.
Oh my gosh, they're ridiculous now. I mean, you have to have your own line, your own brand. Something's coming next. I have to say thank you so much for joining us here today. Any last words that you can say to the younger women who are aspiring to go into the banking industry? It's not easy to sit at those tables, but what's your message to them?
Yeah, I'm going to say something that I've heard from some of my sponsors in my career, which is be curious. Be curious is incredibly important. Ask those questions. Don't be afraid. You were put on this earth for a reason. You were in that room for a reason, so don't be shy. And my motto lately is be kind. Be aware of your brand and just choose kindness over everything else.
I love it. I love it. That's what you left us with at the event too as well. So once again, thank you so much for joining us, and I'm sure we will be seeing you again.
Yes, thanks, Jasmine.
You're welcome.